to the City of Farmers Branch Council meeting for Tuesday, March 5th. Our first order of business tonight is our invocation and pledge, which will be led by Councilman Jackson.
You bow your heads, will you? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together as a city council with our community and to conduct the community's business. We ask, Lord, that you guide our thoughts and our passions tonight, Lord, and help us to make productive decisions, Lord, that have the spirit of our residents in mind and the future of our city. In your gracious name we pray, Lord. Amen. Now the text, U.S. flag, sorry. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Thank you. So tonight we have a couple of ceremonial items to go over, and the first one is E1, which is presentation of a proclamation recognizing March 11th as National Funeral Directors and Morticians Day. And I'm going to invite Mr. Brooks and members from North Dallas Funeral Home to come forward. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So I have a proclamation which I would like to read and then present to you. So this is from the Office of the Mayor, City of Farmers Branch. Whereas in 2008, the United States Congress ruled March 11th of each year as National Funeral Director and Mortician Recognition Day, and whereas Congress wished to pay tribute to funeral directors and morticians who, day in and day out, help families to mourn and to celebrate life, and whereas the City of Farmers Branch wishes to honor these noble professionals that show so much empathy, understanding, and compassion to families suffering from a loss. And whereas the City of Farmers Branch proudly honors the first family-owned funeral home in the city, John P. Brooks and family of North Dallas Funeral Home, and whereas funeral directors and morticians dedicate their lives to helping families and communities honor their loved ones with professionalism, meticulous planning, and organizing ceremonies to show as much care and respect for individuals past as possible. And whereas the City of Farmers Branch wishes to thank all of the funeral directors and morticians in our city for their noble work and celebrate them on National Funeral Director and Morticians Recognition Day for all that they do. Now, therefore, I, Terry Lynn, Mayor of the City of Farmers Branch, do declare March 11th, 2024 as National Funeral Director and Mortician Recognition Day in the City of Farmers Branch. Thank you all so much.
We'd just like to take a moment to thank the City of Farmers Branch for welcoming us into Farmers Branch. And we want to thank the previous mayors, the city council, and all of the inspectors, etc., that had to work so hard with us, because no one in the City of Farmers Branch had ever been involved in this endeavor. And we spent many, many hours of working together, but it all came together. And we opened the funeral home on September the 11th, 2002. So this year, on September the 11th, means that we will have been in Farmers Branch for 22 years, serving the community and the surrounding areas, and we certainly appreciate all the respect that we've had from the people of the City of Farmers Branch, and we hope to continue it in the near future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all want to say anything? Okay. I'm going to give you this. Here, let's come up front and get a picture. Thank you. Okay, I'll let you do it if you want.
All right. This next one recognizes the mayor's Red Kettle Challenge. So he asked me to read this since it's it's his campaign. The Red Kettle program. Well, let's ask, members of the Salvation Army to come up front. This next item recognizes the Red Kettle program, which originated in 1891 to feed the hungry a Christmas dinner. It has expanded worldwide and provides critical funding that enables the Salvation Army to continue its year-round efforts of helping those in need. On December 2nd and December 9th of this last year, 2023, the City Council participated in the Salvation Army's Mayor's Red Kettle Challenge, and during those 2 days, the City Council members gathered $809.23 in donated funds to support the Salvation Army's mission in helping the homeless, poverty, addiction, food insecurities, domestic violence, and much more. So the Salvation Army would like to thank the City Council for their participation in this worthy cause. So, congratulations. I'm going to take a picture.
Thank you.
You want to say a few words? Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Resmond Richardson with the Salvation Army of North Texas. I'm the development specialist for Dallas and Rockwall counties. And here with me from the Oak Cliff Corps are Majors Mario and Lola Baldonados. And they did an amazing job this season. And for the whole Mayor Red Kettle Challenge, we raised $70,000 total.
Amen. We are excited, and we take this opportunity, Mayor, give you a bell as a appreciation for the job well done that you guys did, you and your group. I was able to ring with some of you at the lighting of the Christmas tree, and but thank you very much, and hopefully that every year we can get to do it every time.
Absolutely.
And then my wife is going to say a few words too on regards to this.
No, I just wanted to say again, thank
Yes.
you for you and your staff. It is amazing how people don't realize that what you do helps a lot of families. And as you know, right now, our people around Dallas are having a difficult time, and you have made our work a lot easier because we're able to do more with what was raised. And it does take a whole village. It really takes a whole Dallas to make a difference in the lives of many people. So on behalf of the Salvation Army of North Texas, we want to thank you again, you and your staff. And I gave you a little secrets on how you can outdo the other committees.
So before we take a picture, so this was a competition for area mayors and city councils, and I'd just like to thank our city council because everybody took turns being outside, ringing the bell. We were at neighborhood Walmart doing that, and learned a few things. This is a competition, and if you know me, I'm very competitive, and so this next year, we're going to do things a little differently, and we will be, I hope that you'll be back here recognizing us as first place.
I hope so.
You know? But anyway, it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed doing it. I hope everybody enjoyed doing it, and it was our pleasure. So,
And it is possible because the smallest council mayor in a little town in Collin County beat most of the other areas. But again, I gave you the secret, so
Got it.
you know how to do it.
got it? Got it?
Yeah, so-
Thank you again.
No,
Thank you. Appreciate
thank
it. sir.
you. It
Thank
was our pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Oh, the picture
Oh, over here.
over here?
Items of community interest for this council meeting of March 5th, 2023. Workforce housing is coming to Farmers Branch. The city will host a groundbreaking tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. in Pepper Park with Builders of Hope to announce the porches at Valwood Park. It'll be a series of new single-family homes available to qualified buyers. Find out more at bohcdc.com. Farmers Branch voters will have 3 municipal propositions to consider on the May ballot, all of which would be funded by municipal bonds. The next town hall on this topic will be hosted by Mayor Pro Tem Jackson at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, March 12th at Fire Station Number 2. Keep in mind that there will also be 10 charter amendments on that May ballot. Find more details on the homepage at farmersbranchtx.gov. Step inside a mobile planetarium and learn all about the total solar eclipse coming in April. The program will be March 14th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Mansky Library. There will be 3 shows per hour with 20 to 25 participants per show. You can call 972-919-9830 for more information. Also in honor of the total solar eclipse, library patrons are invited to submit an original bookmark design with an out-of-this-world theme. Entry forms are available at the library. All entries will be displayed during National Library Week in April, with a winner in each age group. Good luck. Egg hunts are not just for kids anymore. Our annual adult egg hunt will be March 22nd from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. at the Historical Park. Every egg contains a prize. Bring a flashlight and good running shoes. The $30 admission price includes a glass of beer or wine and light refreshments. Space is limited and pre-registration is required. Call the Historical Park at 972-919-8730. The Easter Bunny will make house calls again this year here in Farmers Branch. Appointments are still available. Reservations must be made in person or over the phone. The Bunny will be visiting local homes on Saturday, March 30th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Each household will receive pre-filled eggs, a letter from the Easter Bunny, and a brief outdoor meet and greet and photo opportunity. Call the Rec Center at 972-919-8750 to register. And get ready for more live music here in Farmers Branch. The 5th season of Denton Drive Live will feature some of Texas' premier tribute bands from April through July. Each free concert will include free kids' activities and food trucks. This season's concerts will be held at the Farmers Branch Historical Park due to road construction on Denton Drive. First up, a British Invasion on Saturday, April 13th. Learn more at DentonDriveLive.com. Gateway to the Globe will serve as our city's first ever multicultural celebration on Saturday, March 23rd from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Historical Park. The hours were extended due to overwhelming interest. It's being designed to promote the traditions and cultures of residents of Farmers Branch and North Texas. You can learn more at fbspecialevents.com. Why not have coffee with a cop? Join members of the Farmers Branch Police Department for our next Coffee with a Cop on March 23rd, 2024, this year from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. at PJ's Coffee in Farmers Branch. No agenda, just coffee and conversation, bringing police officers and the community they serve together. Take our InTech Dispatch survey to provide feedback on our city's emergency and non-emergency response service. Find it on our homepage at farmersbranchtx.gov. Sign up now to be a volunteer at Fishing Fun in April. It's an annual fishing tournament for kids at Rawhide Creek behind City Hall. It's free and open to residents and non-residents. We need plenty of adult volunteers, no angling experience required. Learn more by calling 972-919-8740. And as always, you can sign up for City e-News at farmersbranchtx.gov. Mayor?
Thank you, Jeff. Next up is our report on study session items, and we did meet at 3 o'clock today to have our study session. We received a report from Chief McCoy regarding motor vehicle stop data analysis and how our city compares to I guess.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's start over there. So next up is our report on study session items. There we go, I can hear it. And we received a report from Chief McCoy regarding motor vehicle stop data analysis, which is required every year. And one of the big takeaways from that was, I believe this is the third year in a row that we have not had any complaints about the Farmers Ranch Police Department in regards to folks that were stopped and/or arrested. I will tell you, if you haven't heard, you need to slow down in Farmers Branch, because Don't Speed in Farmers Branch is back. Chief McCoy reported that traffic stops for excessive speed, among other things, are up 90% over last year. So we are slowing traffic down, so please be aware of that. There was some discussion regarding the Firehouse Theater and the facility use agreement that is currently in place, and possibly renegotiating that agreement. Council will be looking at that in the weeks to come. We had discussion regarding the neighborhood revitalization programs, which also includes the demo rebuild program, two separate programs, and there will be ongoing discussion regarding those items as we move forward. And I think that is about it. If you want to see the complete study session, you go to farmersbranchtx.gov and get that video from that session that will be posted probably tomorrow. Next up is our consent agenda, and I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as proposed or presented.
Very good, thank you.
I can second that.
We have a motion and a second. Very good. If you would, please mark your vote accordingly. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Next up is regular agenda item J1, consider approving resolution number 2024-038, authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute a contract awarding to SYB Construction Company, Incorporated, for the Medical Parkway Infrastructure Improvement Project in the amount of $2,139,647, and take appropriate action.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. I'm Ryan Sauter, Director of Public Works. And tonight we are discussing the Medical Parkway Infrastructure Project, which is also known as the Spot at Myra Park. This is the area around the Dallas Medical Center at Medical Parkway and the intersection of what would be Myra Park. All right. I've got some pictures up here to kind of give you an idea of what's out there now. This is a development project that has not come to fruition, and we're now having to take on the responsibility of repairing the public infrastructure portion of this project. So the purpose of this contract is to address public safety concerns, which, as you can see right here, the open roadway and the storm channel, mitigate negative stormwater impacts, prevent additional erosion and undermining, and reinstate access to the hospital, which is on that far east side. Just a few more pictures showing the storm drain situation there, which is wide open. Project scope. We're looking to complete the storm channel on Medical Parkway on the east side of the hospital, complete the paving along Medical Parkway. We're also looking to complete the storm system between Medical Parkway and to the northeast to Myra Park, or Myra Lane. And there's also a section of paving on that roadway that comes off of Myra, coming back in behind the private school there, that is undermined, that we're going to have to remove and replace as well, all as part of the erosion that took place from this incomplete project. Budget impacts. This project was not identified in the budget. It will have a financial impact in the amount of $2,139,647, and this project will be expensed from the stormwater or drainage project fund account. And that is pretty much the grand overview. Discussion.
Very good, thank you, Ryan. Council, any questions, comments? Councilman Jackson?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Ryan. Love the tie and the handkerchief.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Would you mind going back to the slide with the map on it?
Sure. Right there.
Where's the water coming from and where's it going to go?
Okay. Good question. And I don't know if you can see all of it on this particular picture, but there's actually a storm channel that runs kind of in the edge of the easement right here. It is buried, comes up underneath here, ties back into the roadway, runs back over here, and then hits the open channel right there. We also have surface water that travels down Myra Lane and out of this neighborhood up here along, I believe it's Amsterdam.
Correct.
And it drops into this open flume. Well, it's open now, wide open, and traverses down another, what is to be buried, I believe it's a 36-inch line that's buried out there and ties back into the open channel here along Medical Parkway.
That channel is open there or is it underground until it gets to Webb Chapel?
This piece, right now, it's wide open.
Well, right now it's open, right?
Yes, but this is all surface water that actually runs down and is draining into this right now, but there's also a channel that comes from Webb Chapel underground and ties back into it, which is where it's supposed to be connected. That's why it's being undermined, is because we're collecting so much surface water from this area right now, which it was not designed to do.
Okay, so the idea is the water's coming from the neighborhood going into this
Yes.
viaduct and being channeled through that open channel that runs east-west and heads west toward 35.
Yes, and it's inadvertently affecting another basin that it would not have affected otherwise. Normally, this water would have continued on down Myra and then would be captured by the storm inlets closer to the Treeview end.
Okay, all right. Yeah, and I know we've had this discussion before, but just for the public's sake, for those who are watching tonight, help us understand where the money's coming from, if there's any opportunity for recovery.
We have a drainage fund, project fund that we use for stormwater mitigation projects. That money, we currently have enough money in there to cover that, as well as the current projects we have on our list. This will affect some out-year projects. I don't know exactly to what extent yet, but it will affect some maintenance projects further out in the next 2 to 3 years. Recovery, there is an option to lien the property. However, if you look at Dallas County, there are a ton of liens on that property currently. And depending on how the court disperses those funds, you'll get a percentage of it back maybe, but we won't be able to file a lien until we actually spend the money, because it's not an expense right now.
Very good, thank you.
Sure.
Councilman Merritt?
So, thank you, Ryan, for the presentation. And
Yes, sir.
again, I'll kind of dovetail into Councilman Jackson's notations for the public. The developer didn't deliver on this particular project. And so
Correct.
these projects improvements would have been part of the overall development. And so help me if I couch this correctly, as the safety aspect that has been written into this, the city is having to step up and take care of these particular elements because we are the last resort for that particular approach. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I also know in conversations previously, there's also a pollution aspect
Yes.
that with the TCEQ and I don't think you mentioned that. You also referenced addressing the water and the safety aspects and the environmental impacts. But could you dive in a little bit further on the TCEQ, impacts that are out there?
There are a couple of them. The biggest one would probably be the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, which is SW3P. that addresses a multitude of variables that you want to prevent as much pollution as possible from entering your stormways or your stormwater channels and then polluting what's considered the waters of the U.S. Any free-flowing water within the country essentially belongs to the U.S. It is the water of the U.S. and
Sure.
it belongs to the people. We don't want to pollute that. Any type of dirt, soil, trash, additional runoff, it just adds to that. And that's what we're experiencing right now.
And so would it be a fair way to couch this as this is an emergency aspect that the city's coming in
Correct.
to bolster these particular infrastructure developments in order to protect the citizens, the environmental aspects that you just alluded to? And it's an unfortunate situation that we find ourselves in, but we are the last resort in this particular aspect. I do think it's also important that we put ourselves in line when the opportunity is present for those liens
Sure.
against that going forward. And then see if I cover all my bullet points. One other aspect, duration of your particular project in order to make these elements whole.
From the day the contractor moves in, we're looking at between 180 and 200 days of completion, to completion.
Ryan, thank you very much. Appreciate your answers.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Roman?
So is there any other infrastructure issues that you observed when reviewing the property that we might be responsible for?
No, sir. This is the only public infrastructure that we actually have on that property. Everything else is private construction, and any other issues that are on that property are going to be private concerns with whoever purchases the lot next.
Yeah. Do we know if there's any interest from anybody to purchase the property?
I do not know that.
Okay. I'm assuming that there was an agreement put in place between the city and the developer at some point about what the expected deliverables were going to be.
With regard to the development itself, yes, there were plans, stamp plans issued to the developer with regards to the public infrastructure. They did complete some water and sewer on that property as well. It was completed, inspected, and passed before this major infrastructure piece was started. But as far as legal binding bonded agreements, no, there were not. And we now have one in place, a three-way contract in place for future developments, which is quite strict, but it protects the city's interest and prevents this from happening again.
Why didn't we do that initially?
Good question. They did things a little bit different prior to me. I worked with the attorneys to put this three-way agreement together after I come on board.
Okay. I think everyone else answered the rest of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Baird?
Thanks, Ryan. Just want to say I love the tie.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Everybody else has already answered my questions.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
Councilwoman? Okay. Ryan, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So this item is marked for action. Is there any more discussion regarding?
Mayor, I'll move to approve resolution number 2024-038 as presented.
Thank you. We have a motion.
Mayor, I'll be happy to second that.
Motion and a second. Very good. Motion passes unanimously. Thank
I
you very much.
appreciate all of your time. Thank you.
Look forward to getting that done. Okay. So next up is our citizen comment, and I do have three people that have signed up to speak this evening. The first one is Mary Ann Griswold. So if you would, please come forward, state your name and address. And I will remind everybody, there's a 3-minute time limit for each citizen to speak with a reasonable limitation on speakers on one topic or one item with a maximum of 15 minutes total on the same topic. Anyone wishing to speak shall be courteous and cordial. Please refrain from disparaging or inflammatory remarks directed at any member of a board or commission, the city council, or city staff.
Hi.
If you would, name and address.
Mary Ann Griswold. I live at 3233 Whispering Oak. And I love living in Farmers Branch. I spent last year harassing the Property Owners Association about a sign that we put a street sign for our street. And the first of this year, I decided I'd write them a letter, which I did. And when I did that, I discovered that it was not the responsibility of the Property Owners Association, but of the city council, the city, to replace those signs. Just to refresh your memories, that I haven't come up with any better way of saying it, I'll just read that part of the letter. I live on Whispering Oak in the Oak Brook community. 2 years ago, we lost our street sign. It was eventually replaced with the current sign, which is completely different from the other street signs in the community. Began peeling shortly after it was installed and looks terrible. Many of us on Whispering Oak are distressed by this rundown sign. We want a sign like the street signs on the other streets in the community with permanent lettering and the Farmers Branch logo. I'm sure this sign was probably purchased because it was inexpensive, but it makes our street look like it's not as attractive as the other streets in the neighborhood. I'd like to request a new sign be installed, and I understand that Pin Oak and Garden Oak have also been requesting signs like the other signs in the community. And if you'll just tell me what to do to get this pushed forward, get something done about it, I'd be glad to do whatever is necessary. But we really need to have that sign replaced. And that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up is Patrick Track.
Good evening. My name is Pat Trapp, and my wife and I live, excuse me, I need to put these on, at 1750 Brighton Place in Mercer Crossing. I came to the meeting tonight to speak about the issue of the Mercer Crossing North Homeowners Association. The Mercer Crossing North HOA, their scope is mainly limited to the landscaped medians along Mercer Parkway and Whittington Place in the very western edge of Farmers Branch. This HOA costs every homeowner and town homeowner in Mercer Crossing $300 a year in dues. Through an anomalous situation resulting from the way that development in Mercer Crossing evolved, the homeowners of Mercer Crossing became responsible for the costs associated with the maintenance of the medians along the public rights-of-way. Apartment residents and most commercial businesses do not contribute to the maintenance of the medians. It's the sole responsibility of the homeowners. Even though these boulevards are used by apartment residents, commercial building users, and general through traffic in Mercer Crossing, the homeowners are unfairly burdened with the entire cost of maintaining the medians on these public rights-of-way. There's really no reason why the cost of a public good, such as a median in the middle of a boulevard, should be borne by a small set of its users' community. This is inconsistent with the way that median maintenance is handled everywhere else in the city and is an unfair cost burden on Mercer Crossing homeowners. I strongly support the transfer of the median title and maintenance to the city and ask that the city take responsibility for the maintenance and the medians in the public rights-of-way. I ask that the City Council please look favorably on the proposal to transfer the medians to Mercer Crossing, of Mercer Crossing to the city, and to dissolve the Mercer Crossing North Homeowners Association.
Thank you very much. Next up is Dee Mellett.
My name is Dee Mellett. I live at 3147 Golden Oak Court. And I would like to thank the gentleman and applaud him because we are suffering from the same issue about medians, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here about La Jolla, the park that has cost us an awful lot of money so far. Driving by, it looks like a Circus just left town and left all of their equipment. It's unattractive, it's dangerous. I understand there are no age or height requirements on the activities, and that adults are using the playground as a playground and also as a drug drop in the evenings. So I would like to know what you, as the city council, what's it going to cost us to continue to take care of this eyesore, as I see it? My opinion only, but it's not attractive, and it's cost us money already. The equipment has been broken already. What's it going to cost us? Have you taken that into consideration down the road? Is it worth it? That's all.
Thank you very much. That concludes our meeting for this evening. We did not have an executive session, so there's no action to be taken there. So I will adjourn our council meeting at 6:37. Thank you.